Alright, alright, alright. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric, and it's time for some Golgari. That's right, we've got a lot of Golgari coming up this week. I'm going to be starting out with the first place deck from the PTQ this past week, and we're going to play with that, but I do believe that the deck has morphed a little bit since then, and we're going to be covering that a little bit later. We'll talk about it a little bit as we go through tonight and how the deck is starting to evolve. And we'll kind of go from there. So, hope you guys enjoy tonight's show. If you do, don't forget to give it that thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as always, if you want to help support the channel, the Patreon links is below. And if you want to play any of the decks, you can use the rental service, manatraders, so that you don't have to buy the cards. Alright, straight up, let's get into this. Speaking of manatraders, just got the cards here from manatraders. Had to restart Magic Online, so I know some of you guys had to listen to a little bit more music than you normally want to. But we should be able to get to rolling here in just a moment. I did pick up 4 copies of Carnage Tyrant for this deck. I know the deck doesn't, this version of the deck doesn't actually run Carnage Tyrant. This is the Doom Whisperer version, if you want to call it that. So we're going to be playing with the PTQ first place deck, and we'll talk about it a little bit here. Turn this music down a little bit more. Got it blaring in my ears. All right, there we go. All right, so there's been quite a few changes in the deck, and a lot of people have been working out, what are the best numbers, what are the best strategies and such. But and a lot of the pros actually said that Doom Whisperer did not have a place in the deck, that Doom Whisperer wasn't the actual, card that you're looking for here, and a lot of people are actually using Carnage Tyrant in this spot. However, Doom Whisperer does trade with Carnage Tyrant. You still take a point of damage, but Doom Whisperer will trade with Carnage Tyrant, so I'm not, absolutely just dead in the water to Carnage Tyrant there. As far as any of the other big creatures that can come down, most of the time Doom Whisperer can trade with those as well. And if it's something just like a Galta or something, we can use a Ravenous Chupacabra, which we can get back quite often thanks to cards like Golgari Finebroker. Some of the newer versions of this deck are also running a Moral to Folly. We're not going to see that here in this particular version. A lot of the newer versions are not actually running Wild Growth Walker in the main board, but yet this deck is. Again, this is the first place deck from the PTQ, so I mean the deck definitely has some merit. But the format is starting to shape up. There's going to be a lot more Golgari mirrors, and we're going to see this deck actually transform a little bit because of that Golgari mirror in mind. Now, personally, I'm not for sure if this deck has the legs to fight in the Golgari mirror, but this deck was really built to fight everything else, and I think it does really well at that. We can ramp into our spells with Llanowar Elves. But what we really want, and this is kind of rare for these decks, you actually just want to hit lands off of your Explorer. You just want to get that raw card advantage. You want, Merfolk Branchwalker and Jadelight Ranger to do, their thing and help you get more lands so that you can hit, your Doom Whisperers on 5. You can hit your Varaskas, Relic Seekers on 6, and then just kind of take over the game. It does need to be said that Vraska Relic Seeker does make pirates. It's come up quite a bit in a lot of the content that I have watched, trying to gain information on this deck, that those pirates, they do not die to fiery cannonade, and that can be a real thing against some of the Izzet decks. And we are starting to see some of the Izzet decks, grab a little bit of a foothold here in the meta. Now that the meta is starting to settle a little bit, those decks know more about how they need to tune their spells in order to fight. So Vraska is absolutely wonderful there. You've also got a couple copies of Vraska Golgari Queen here. Now, she's absolutely wonderful as far as, just a destruction spell. You don't really care if she dies or not, but if you do happen to get to that ultimate, and that's easier than you would think, and that's normally how this deck actually wants to win. We want to get to that ultimate with one of our Vraskas and then just get in with a creature. Whether, we're putting their life total to 1, or we're just making sure that if any of our creatures connect, then they just lose the game. And it's actually really easy to protect your Vraskas because you have a ton of 2-drop creatures like Merfolk Branchwalker, Seeker Squire, and Wild Growth Walker. And then your 3-drop creatures are also very hardy, as Jadelight Ranger, and even District Guide coming in handy here, just guaranteeing that you do get those Vraskas down on turn. Now, once you get farther into the late game, Izoni here is going to do a lot of work. Izoni, its Undergrowth ability, giving you a 1/1 black and green insect for each creature card in your graveyard, and then it's got an ability where you can pay 1 green, 1 black, and you can sacrifice another creature to gain 1 life and draw a card. And it's actually relevant sometimes to not sacrifice one of your insect tokens, but instead sacrifice something like a Golgari Finebroker so that you can play another one and get it back, or sacrifice a Ravenous Chupacabra so that you can Finebroker that card back. And the same thing goes for Fine Finale. Fine Finale has been an absolutely wonderful card in my testing. It's great against the control decks and such, and I'm really enjoying Fine Finale in these decks. So it's just raw card advantage. You take 1 card and you get 2 cards back. This deck doesn't actually draw a lot of cards. However, it kind of does. You're drawing some of the same cards over and over by just grabbing them out of the graveyard. I do like the art here on Finale, with the Gorgon there. I'm not 100% sure if that's Vraska, but it's probably Vraska. I mean, there's other Gorgons in the Golgari Guild, so maybe not, but she's sitting on a throne. I mean, let's say it's Vraska, right? The Finale part of this card, being able to put a 2+1/1 counters on your creatures, and then allowing them to live through the -4/-4 is actually some of the reasoning behind why some of the newer decks are actually coming off of Llanowar Elves. Druid of the Cowl is a 1/3, which means that if you actually put 2+1/1 counters on it, it'll have 5 toughness and be able to survive through the finale. So we're starting to see, more finales in some of these decks. We're starting to see less Llanowar Elves and more Druid of the Cowl, and that alone is shaping up to change the outcome of this deck. This deck's definitely going through a transitional phase as it is trying to solidify in the meta. We're going to see a lot more of the same here in the sideboard with more Fine. We're going to see Azoni, Thousand Eyed, even more another copy of Wild Growth Walker. Yes, the deck has 2 in the main board, but a 3rd copy against red decks is absolutely wonderful. And then Vivian Reed to be able to shoot down flyers, opposing Doom Whisperers, Lyras, things of that nature, destroying artifacts, enchantments, and things. Artifacts, enchantments, really not a big problem for this deck, as you have Vraska, you have Vraska Relic Seeker, you have the Golgari Queen, and you have Vivian Reed at your disposal. So being able to actually, just destroy enchantments, not a really big deal for this deck. Now, some of the early creatures and stuff have to be dealt with. You can't allow something like a Thief of Sanity to just keep swinging over top and taking advantage of your deck. A lot of times you're going to want to explore. Leaving cards on top is going to make it really hard for to fight against something like a Thief of Sanity. I did some testing against one of our patrons last night, and he had a Grixis deck. It's James Glugston. I did a little testing with him here on Magic Online, and he had a Thief of Sanity that just literally beat me to death because I couldn't get a Moment of Craving. At one point he had 5 of my creatures on the battlefield. I had to immediately ban anything that was just absolutely devastating when I did hit a Explorer creature. You see a Vraska on top and you're like, well, I gotta ban it. I can't let him have a Vraska. So that was definitely a problem. But all in all, like, the deck's got a lot of gas. You've got Vraska's Contempt, with Planeswalkers, and hard to deal with permanents that your opponent might be trying to get back and things like that. Just go ahead and exile those and be done with them. And then, of course, Eldest Reborn against opposing Carnage Tyrants and such. And then in the control matchups, you're going to want some Duresses or some Argyle's Bloodfast. And I found that I actually like Duress more when I was on the play than I did on the draw. On the draw, I just wanted to catch up against the control decks, and I wanted to push as much pressure as possible, which could be absolutely opposite of where you need to be. I'm going to have to do some more testing, and you guys are going to be coming along for the ride this week as we play a lot of the Golgari decks. So that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to get over here to chat, talk to some of you guys really quick, and then we'll get into some games. What's up, Madness? How you doing, sir? Grounded Flagon. What's up, sir? Why not Sultai? We will be playing a Sultai deck this week, possibly 2 Sultai decks. The consensus is that blue could be really good in these decks. These decks may actually want Disdainful Stroke. Depending on how the meta starts to shape up, Disdainful Stroke could become one of the most powerful counters in Standard right now. Most things that you want to negate can also be dealt with by Disdainful Stroke. Essence Scatter and Disdainful Stroke may absolutely be wonderful cards. In the mirror, you actually want to just hit your land drops and kind of stop your opponent from being able to hit their land drops, and that's really hard if you don't have a way to actually stop their creatures from entering the battlefield. Even if you remove them on site, the creature's still going to explore and they're going to get a chance for lands. And stopping your opponent from getting lands is just something that what most people are actually trying to use that strategy. Stop the explorers to keep them from getting land so that they can't get their big Carnage Tyrants and things like that down. The deck does only run 23 land, so it is a little bit light on land. So again, that seems to be the go-to strategy here. Hi James, I was just talking about some games that we played. Can I try Cunning Castaway? So Cunning Castaway, if I'm not mistaken, is double blue. And you already have cards like Golgari Finebroker, and I think the power level of Golgari Finebroker is much more powerful than something like Cunning Castaway. And I don't think that you would be able to afford like a turn 3 double blue and then a turn 4 double green double black. So as far as the mana base goes, I think putting something like that in your deck would absolutely just hose your mana base, and I don't think that you want to go that route. If anything, if I splashed blue in the deck, it would be possibly for a copy or two of Muldrotha, a copy or two of Hostage Taker, and then of course probably some Thief of Sanities for the mirror. Thief of Sanity in the mirror could be absolutely wonderful. So if I were going to splash blue, those would be the cards I would consider main board. And Open the Graves, no, I don't think that that's where you really want to be. But as far as the Golgari deck goes, you're not going to see a lot of jank put into these decks, even though the deck actually plays a lot like jank. You're just going to be playing, cards. You're going to be getting cards back. You're going to be pulling cards from your graveyard. They're going to kill stuff. You're not going to care, and you're just going to get them back. And it's just going to raw card advantage win in most situations. So I hope that answers the question for you there, Michael. As far as blue cards in the sideboard goes, it would probably be Disdainful Stroke, Essence Scatter, or Negate. I don't think there would be much else that I would want in the deck other than that. So. Be informed. Thank you, sir. Thank you for enjoying the content. Jizza, welcome, sir. What's up? What's up, Rush? How are you? And then Jareth Miles, of course, is here. It goes down as the DM. La Parker Thomas. Hello. Hello. Marhaba. This is the tier 1 Vraska deck. That is true. This is the first true evolution of it, and I think we're going to see more evolutions of this deck. That evolution may end up adopting some blue cards, may also end up adopting some white cards. We'll see. So, who else we got up here? Grounded Flagon, Jansen, or nope, Jankovic, and then Be Informed, and I think that's it. All right. Everyone else, welcome to the show. Benjamin, how are you doing, sir? Let's Logical Order. I missed you. How did I miss Logical Order? Anyway, let's get into some Golgari Midrange. It's tier 1 deck. I'll try some some cues here. What happened to my music? Justin, I'm sorry, sir. I am sorry, Justin. Justin's here. The party can get started. Let's do this. Justin, life of the party. Okay, so we do have a Land of War Elves. We do have a land to play it, but I don't think we're really going to get into many of these other spells with a Land of War Elves. So, the opponent said, just so you know, I'm not watching the stream right now. Wow. All right, so I'm going to have to mulligan. This definitely looks keepable. I will keep the hand, and we'll see if we can go from there. Alright, the opponent is deciding whether or not to mulligan to 5 cards. This seems like a perfectly good threat. I'll leave it on top. Going in blind, that seems like a perfectly fine card to use. So, I'll just Overgrown Tombs tap. There's nothing we can do on one here, so no point in taking some additional damage and getting it out. Seems fine. This is similar to your Sultai. I think this is the route that you want to go with the Explorer package and things of that nature. I think that's just where you want to be. So, we might get this Wildgrowth Walker killed here. But if we do, it'll take his mana on turn 2. Okay, so that's a Knight of Grace. Alright, well, we could District Guide here. But I think I just want to throw another Wildgrowth Walker down and pass. No point in swinging. He may have a Deafening Clarion. No Deafening Clarion, and we naturally hit our next land drop. So that's going to be great. Let's go ahead. Seeker Squire. So now if he's going to kill something, he needs to do it now. There we go. There's the lightning strike that we expected. J-Light Ranger, we will leave that on top. J-Light Ranger will be a fine card for next turn. And we can just pass. Now, if this is the Angels version of the deck, then we might be in a little bit of trouble. But if it's not the Angels version, we should be okay. Let's go ahead and J-Light Ranger. Merfolk Branchwalker. I think I'm going to put it on top, and then I'm going to put it in the graveyard. And we're gaining a lot of life here that's definitely going to be beneficial. We're now above Resurgent, or Response, I think is the card. Response to Resurgence. Alright, so we do not get the opportunity to just kill this with a Ravenous Chupacabra, so I'll be waiting on that. Thought I wanted lands. That's why I ended up putting it in the graveyard overall. I do want lands, so I put it in the grave. I wanted the additional counter, but I want a chance to draw a land next turn. So that's where I'm at on that. Conclave Tribunal. Well, that will deal with the Wild Growth Walker here. The opponent is hurting on mana very badly. So let's go ahead, play our District Guide, so we can guarantee our land drop here. We definitely want to use that ability. I think I need a couple more black sources, so we'll also swing in for 2 here. Yes, Wild Growth Walker is pretty broken. I mean, we're already at 29 life, so yeah, and that's because he killed one of them. I mean, we would have gained twice that much life. Rekindling Phoenix. Now, this is a pretty good card here. He's going to go ahead and get in. Well, I'm not going to block. We need some more mana. I think I'm going to cast Find here on Wild Growth Walker and J-Light Ranger. So we're gonna go black. And then, as much as I want to play the Wild Growth Walker here, or as much as I want to play the J-Light Ranger, I think I'm just going to play the Wild Growth Walker, and we'll pass. One more turn. Thinking of making Esper good stuff. Seems okay. Oh man, that could be nasty. That could be very nasty. Alright, so we're going to take 4. 4 is not that devastating of a hit for us. We did hit another land, which I think that we have to kill the Resplendent Angel here. So maybe I should have gotten back the Merfolk Branchwalker because it would have went better with our lands. We've already played a land for the turn, so it's not like we're going to be able to hit a land and then do more things from there. So I'm just going to play Ravenous Chupacabra. I'm going to deal with the Resplendent Angel now. And then think I just passed one more time. We've almost got the white deck here out of cards, and as everyone knows, one of the biggest weaknesses to this deck is the fact that it can't draw additional cards. So as long as he doesn't have something like a Karn or you know, something like that, we should be okay. Alright, well, we got a Woodland Cemetery, which means we get to just open up with a Jade Light Ranger. We'll get a couple Explorer triggers. I don't need more lands at this point, so I'm just going to take the additional threats, so I'm just going to leave Merfolk Branchwalker on top. That'll be fine for next turn. It's additional, it's an additional form of Explorer, which will give us more triggers, more life gain, things of that nature. And we are just going to keep the opponent down here. So we'll get rid of the Resplendent Angel. And I think we're safe now to risk losing a creature. So, I mean, he might have a Justice Strike that he can put on this and then block. But that's fine. He's still going to take 6 points of damage. So here he takes 7 instead and removes a black source or a black permanent from the battlefield. So again, we're racing the Rekindling Phoenix pretty well. So do we have Cruel Harpooner? No, we do not. We have Ravenous Chupacabra. Conclave Tribunal. All right. Well, I assume that yeah, Wild Growth Walker is the pick yet again. So now he's in a situation where he can't really not block here. Yeah, we're gonna keep Vraska on top. So I still think that we get to get in with our creatures here. I mean, he can block the Jade Light Ranger, he can block something else, but he still takes 4. So that'll put him at 3. And then we just need one of our remaining 3 creatures to get in. So, and we're going to have Vraska. So, yeah. This should be okay. That's not a bad top deck for the opponent there. Alright, so I'm going to play Vraska. And I'm going to uptick Vraska and make a Menace Pirate. And then I'm going to pass. He can make another knight. That's fine. Rekindling Phoenix. Alright. That's yet another good card here. Does he swing at Vraska, though? At Vraska. Yes, he does. Alright, well, this is pretty good for us. If we remove one of his blockers, one of his knights, we get to swing in. And we should be able to do quite a bit of damage. So the pirate gets through. He will block the other 3 creatures. Yeah. I think that's fine. So I'm going to remove a knight. Then we're going to go to combat. Swing out. So he can't block the pirate. If he does, he just dies to the rest of the board state. So first strike there. He takes 2. We'll put some additional creatures in our graveyard, which is fine. We'll go to second main phase, and then we'll just drop an Ozoni. He'll need something like Deafening Clarion to come out of this. He's at 1 point of life. How is Azoni in this deck? Helps you in board stalls? Lyra Dawnbringer. Alright. We will make a pirate. You know, a lot of people ask, why does this deck run so many Veraskas? There's your answer, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, being able to shoot down the flyer is great. So we're definitely going to want Vivian Reed. Doom Whisperer is great in this matchup. Vraska is great in the matchup. Ravenous Chupacabra is great. Really, the only thing we really want to take out is Wild Growth Walker and possibly a couple Seeker Squires. If we can keep the opponent from putting a lot of creatures down on the battlefield, then we should be okay. I want to bring in Vraska's Contempt. I want to bring in some Eldest Reborn. And then Moment of Craving doesn't do a whole lot for us. So pretty much like that that route. I don't necessarily I don't necessarily know that I want a Zalani Thousandite. I would almost just rather have Fine Finale. I know that against a control deck, I would bring in the additional Fine Finale for the additional card value. And we may actually need it for the board wipe. So I'm going to bring in the extra Fine Finale, and I'll take out the Zoni for this. And I'm going to roll back like that. Now, again, we did take out some Explorer. We took out some different Explorer mechanics, and we just kind of hope that the opponent doesn't have like a super fast deck, or super fast hand against us. But, you know, if we can get in the air with this Doom Whisperer, we should be okay. I'll keep the hand. The hand looks fine. This is definitely one of those hands where we're going to want as many lands as possible. So, well, did you get a chance to? Did you get a little glimpse of it there, Jared? Little glimpse, just a wee glimpse. Maybe remove some top end. Possibly that might be what we wanted to do, but maybe not either. I just want to find some more. Hey, look, we found a land, but it's not a black source. So I'm going to go ahead and play the extra land of War Elves. We could be playing into a Deafening Clarion here. That wouldn't be the greatest thing in the world, but it happens. Scott Clark, this deck seems good to you. It is pretty good, sir. It did win the PTQ, Magic Online PTQ. Pretty good deck. History of Benalia, that's fine. We will probably Assassin's Trophy that. Nope, never mind. We're just going to Golgari Queen it. So, Vraska's Golgari Queen, neg 3 is Abrupt Decay, so anything converted mana cost 3 or less, you can just destroy it. I'm going to hold back the Merfolk Branchwalker here, so that our opponent can't just, you know, get in on our Vraska Golgari Queen. And then we'll pass. Okay, so he gets to look at our hand, and we'll see what he calls. If he calls Muldrotha, that'll never happen again. We'll never have a moment like that again. Some things I'm just so happy that we're on camera. So he can call Vraska Golgari Queen, but if he does, then I can just Assassin's Trophy this. I'm sure he did call it. So I guess we're going to be helping him ramp. I will block and trade here. Overgrown Tomb. I'm going to say yes, and I'm bringing it in untapped. I'm not going to worry about the Golgari Queen here. I'm just going to slam a Doom Whisperer, and I'm even going to get in for one. Just get in there. Get in there. If we can get in for one more time, then we have him at a multiple of 6, which means we only have to connect with Doom Whisperer 3 times. Alright, so that's a Lyra Dawnbringer. He knows this doesn't survive. And now we have an even better way to make sure that it doesn't survive. I could have Ravenous Chupacabra, but we still wouldn't have had the mana to cast the Assassin's Trophy. So, running down the Eldest Reborn seems fine to me. And now, again, we have him at that multiple of 6 that I was speaking of earlier. So, 2 more hits with the Doom Whisperer, and we should be okay. Yes, the description box does contain the deck list that I'm playing tonight. Later this week, we're going to be playing the Star City Games version. There's a lady at Star City Games that has been putting in a lot of work with the deck, and it's being hailed as one of the better versions of the deck, period. So, yeah. I mean, our opponent's kind of hurt in a bad way here. I do get the opportunity to play this Merfolk Branchwalker. We hit another land, that's fine. And then we'll just play this Ravenous Chupacabra. And this is the main reason. This is the main reason why the Boros deck got shut out of the meta, because they can only really play one good threat per turn, and the Golgari deck's actually, you know, removing a threat and playing a threat at the same time. It's just an absolutely, you know, hosing of a beat, and it's just a super powerful deck, guys. We all know the power level of what the opponent's playing with Lyra Dawnbringer, playing Resplendent Angels. I mean, he had double Phoenix on the battlefield last time, and we just kind of went, so? I mean, that's a hell of a power level right there. To our opponent, thank you very much for playing. Thank you very much for playing. Thanks for showing us your Golgari deck, or your Boros deck. I was kind of hoping to be able to show, you know, the Golgari deck versus an Angels deck, and thank you very much for allowing that to happen. So, that's right. I'm thinking a stream sniper. He told me at the beginning, he's like, I'm not stream sniping, because sometimes people take honor in that. So, you're 7-1 with your Boros Mentors Angel list. Well, awesome, dude. Are there a lot of people playing? Like, are you talking about playing on like MTG Arena or what? So, yes, this deck is an absolute monster of a deck. Let's jump into another game here. Coming up against Flintard. Paper. Okay. Are there not many Golgari decks in your meta? Because I find that the Golgari decks just do a lot of work against these. This is not the most aggressive hand, but I'm going to keep it. You normally don't want like true aggressive hands. You want resilient hands. So, I mean, this hand's not exactly resilient either. It's not aggressive, but we've got lands, and we should have some options here. The opponent, Leonin Vanguard right off the bat. There you go, opponent. Well, I'm going to Jade Light Ranger here. We have another Jade Light on top, I'll just put that in the grave. We have a Doom Whisperer. We can probably hit that. We have a land for next turn. We'll Merfolk Branchwalker, see if we can get that land. And, yeah, we might have a turn 4 Doom Whisperer here. Shameless plugs. You know we're being repetitive, but you did beat Boros Angels with your Selesnya Elves deck, which you might add. You can go vote on the Reddit to hopefully see it this Sunday. Shameless plugs. I do it all the time, Madness. Shameless plugs. Alright, well, he had a Lava Coil. That's good for the opponent. We do just want to hit a land here. So anything non-land goes to the graveyard. A Johnny Pridemate. Kind of expected that to be here. Well, we did not get a land. That's unfortunate. Our opponent's also not getting land, so I'm going to allow the opponent the opportunity to block here. I don't think he takes the block. And I'm willing to Assassin's Trophy the Johnny's Pridemate on his turn. We'll see how that goes. Aurelia. I'm actually going to kill the Aurelia. Now, we're doing this before combat because we don't want the Leon and Vanguard to trigger. Leon and Vanguard, if it has 3 creatures on the battlefield, will trigger and get a +1, and then it will actually gain a life, which will make a Johnny's Pridemate grow 1 step larger. I can't make that trade. I can't make that trade. Land. We got there. Alright, so we have a Doom Whisperer, which does... I do have to say that Doom Whisperer does die to Justice Strike. We may see that here. So that could be something that we have to worry about. Benelish Marshal. That's going to give him a little bit of life gain. He's still not going to be able to truly attack. Maybe he does attack. Maybe I just take it. And don't risk, like, Lightning Strike on my Doom Whisperer. See, that seems good. We'll swing. Alright, so the opponent has to either remove the Doom Whisperer or kill our... they have to remove the Doom Whisperer or kill us this turn. I think we might have enough shenanigans for this. We might have enough blockers to just kind of bide time. He really needs a kill spell here for Doom Whisperer. Now, it does kind of suck because I am doing this in main phase, which is going to give him another priority in main phase. So if he has another creature, he will be able to go ahead and play that right now. If we allow him to go into combat, we'll already have the Leon and Vanguard trigger on the stack, and that'd be very negative for us. All right, so he did gain a life here. Now, he swings. I think I'm going to trade. I'll take the 4. And I'm even willing to go to 3 here. Even though I am a little worried about Lightning Strike. Alright, so he's tapping out. So go ahead and surveil. Doom Whisperer, Fine Broker. We're going to go to the graveyard. We're going to go to the graveyard. I'm going to surveil one more time. District Guide, Forest. We're going to go graveyard, leave Forest on top of the library. So we're just going to go down to 1. Play... Are we still just dead? I think we're still just dead. Yeah, because he can just block and go. Yep, just dead. Just didn't have it. Needed a Ravenous Chupacabra so that we didn't have to tap the Land of Werewolves. There we go. I mean, that's got beat by the Boros deck there. Okay, so I'm going to sideboard much like I did the first time, taking out the Seeker Squires, taking out the Wild Growth Walkers, bringing in Vivian and Vraska's Contempt and Eldest Reborn. So, there we go. What? Yeah. Well, we were dead if we didn't hit a way to remove the Lyra. So, Moment of Craving. You think Moment of Craving's good in this matchup? It's probably actually Fine Finale. So, good for him. I have no clue what chat is talking about right now. I would try to catch up, but... Anyone know where Rush went? I get Moment of Craving. What do you take out for Moment of Craving, though? Like, most of our early game creatures actually fight versus their early game creatures fairly well. So, like, I don't know if you actually... I think that's really just for the red decks. I mean, it's the extra life gain. Yeah, Fine Finale is really great in this matchup. I think that we're going to be able to get away with just Vraska's Contempt. Maybe take out District Guide for the other Fine Finale. Like, I want Moment of Craving, but I just don't know what I would take out. Like, we do need early blockers, so you'd rather have Ritual of Soot than what? Fine Finale? This is not a horrible hand. If the opponent comes in too early, we might be in trouble, but I'm going to keep the hand. The hand doesn't look bad. So, I mean, we may end up having to get, like, a... Really, the opponent is going to mulligan to 5. Opponent mulligans to 4. Brutal opponent. Brutal. So you'd rather have Ritual of Soot over Fine Finale? I don't think so. Walker is good versus aggro. I'm not going to deny that. I don't think this deck is going to be that fast. He could be. We could see him come out of the gates just, you know, flying, but I just don't think he's going to be that fast. And then it doesn't hurt that he mulliganed to 4. So, and we're on the play. I do not want to have a handful of removal. I want to have some actual threats versus the opponent. We're going to go Jadelight Ranger. I would like to hit a land here. But this is too good to pass up, so I'm just going to leave this on top twice. Yeah, I'm not going to risk not having the Fine Finale. The card's too good to just dump. Especially when I'm going to hit my next land drop anyway, which will open me up for Vraska's Contempt and Golgari Fine Broker, which means that, you know, we're not going to be hurting that bad. Plus, we get to punch him for 4 damage next turn. He's not going to block with a Marshal. And if he does, then I'll fine broker back my Jadelight Ranger. Yeah, he takes 4 here. And then we'll just pass the turn. We'll go ahead and Vraska's Contempt the Benelish Marshal and save ourselves 4 points of damage plus gain life. So we'll take 0 damage this turn. Started the turn at 17. We'll end the turn at 17 unless he has a Lightning Strike. Has a Lava Coil. Alright, so he's going to exile that. We naturally hit land off the top of our library. So there we go. We'll just slam Doom Whisper, and now he has to have an answer. Well, there's a Benelish Marshal. That's fine. I think this is going to be our plays for the next couple turns. Just Doom Whisper, Doom Whisper, Doom Whisper. And that's pretty good. So now he can't swing the Remorseful Cleric because he needs to block with it. Aurelia? Well, that's okay. Ravenous Chupacabra off the top would be wonderful. It would be just wonderful. Sure, but you're still not swinging with anything. I mean, both of our creatures survive. He loses both of his. I mean, he could have a board wipe and just destroy 3 Doom Whisperers, and then we're like, ugh. But I would just find 2 of them back, and we'd go again. So, I mean, yeah. So, yeah, that's how powerful this deck can be. So, yeah, Doom. It did spell Doom. Alright, so we're on the draw this time, which means we need to be playing catch-up. And if we're going to be playing catch-up, I think that we need to have a little bit more Keel in the deck. So I am going to cut out a little bit of the top end here. Yeah, I'm going to cut out a little of the top end for some Moment of Cravings. And then maybe replace an Assassin's Trophy with another Moment of Craving. Or maybe replace a Llanowar Elf with a Moment of Craving. I think that seems right. Let's try that. Just because we're on the draw, I expect the opponent to be trying to come out of the gates as fast as possible. And this is where I would want my kill spells. I don't think I would want them when I was on the play and I'm trying to close the game out. I want to be the aggressor in that matchup. On the draw, I think that I would I'd go this route. Contempt? What are you talking about? Take Contempt out? You may be behind there, buddy. Or Judy. Milks, you might be behind. Sup, dudes and dudettes? How you doing, Dustin? Welcome to the party. Little late to the party, says Rocker, but he's here. Well, this is not the most wonderful hand in the world, but it does allow us to do some early trades. We've got a kill spell. We can get some stuff back. Sure, I'll keep. I mean, we don't have any of the big kill spells. Just hit the live button, Milks, and that'll catch you up. No 1-drop from the opponent here. No 2-drop from the opponent. Llanowar Elves to the graveyard. I mean, next turn I'm just paying 2 life for a Jade Light Ranger. We get to swing. Give me the land. Can't do it. We can keep that. I mean, it's not a land. It is not a land, and I know I want lands, but a premium piece of removal will buy us a little bit more time. There's an Aurelia. I mean, he still can't swing, right? I mean, can he swing? You think he swings? I don't think he swings. Right, he can't swing. So, I'm going to just kill Aurelia, and I'm swinging for 7. I mean, at some point, the opponent needs to start jumping in front of some of this. And, yeah. There's another Aurelia. We played right into our opponent's turn, hand, didn't we? Ah, you got us, opponent. So, oh, that's not horrible. That's not horrible at all. He blocks one of these? I'm okay with that. Right now he doesn't have lifelink. I'm going to cast Find. We're going to get back Merfolk Branchwalker, and we're going to get back our Llanowar Elves. And I'm going to play Llanowar Elves. A Johnny's Pride Mate. Is this a Lyra? That is a Lyra. So he will gain some life here. We will have to deal with this Lyra. Alright, so I mean, he's gaining 6 points of life, which is pretty good. And we're at 3. The land off the top would be wonderful. We're still dead to Lyra, or we're dead to Aurelia. We cast Fine, we wipe the board of pretty much everything except for Lyra. At which point we're dead anyway. So we're just dead. We're just beat. The Boros, the aggressive Boros deck guide us. But this is not the normal Boros Angels deck. Most of those do not run Benelish Marshall or Johnny's Pride Mate or the other Leon and Vanguard. And I do think that's how you beat this deck. You need to be very aggressive. You need to be able to put out more than one thing per turn. There's nothing we can do here. Like, I'm looking, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shoot down Lyra. He gives trample. I mean, Aurelia still just kills us. It's game. That's game. Does anyone else see kill ourselves with Whisper? You can't do that. You can't kill yourself with Whisper. I'll play Doom Whisper. Surveil. Graveyard. Graveyard. See? It won't let me click it. You don't have 2 life to pay for the ability. You can't kill yourself with Doom Whisper. Now, if you're at 2, if you're at an even number, you'll have 2 life and you can take yourself to 0. But if you don't have the life to pay for the ability, you can't pay for the ability. So, you know, for all those people that want to be cute and go, I take my own way out. Yeah, you can't pay what you don't have. Alright, we got beat by Boros once. We've beaten Boros once. We got a new opponent here. Oh. No, this is Flintheart again. No, I don't want to play against the same player again. Oh. I'll give you guys a 4th game after this. It's a fair hand, but it's not the greatest in the world. I'll keep. I think we put this on the bottom. Yeah, let's put that on the bottom. Alright, well, we'll play Wild Growth Walker and then start gaining some life. People finding new ways to beat the top decks as the season goes. Imposter! Alright, well, there's no Johnny's Pride, mate. That is not a land. We can Wild Growth Walker this turn and then hope to get into a land next turn, so. Even the opponent said, he said that he'll have to say he got pretty lucky last match. Green-Black is one of his worst matchups. And I'm going to agree. I think Green-Black's a very bad matchup for the opponent. This may not be, though. We'll see. We're going to go to the graveyard with that. We really need a land. I was kind of hoping to hit a land right there. And again, that's pretty much how this deck's going to lose. Is you're either going to not hit your land drops, or your opponent's going to make sure that you don't hit your land drops. Even though a lot of the late games are going to feel like you flooded out, you're not flooding, okay? You're doing exactly what the deck wants to, and there's going to be times where you're going to want to play a 4-mana spell, get back a 4-mana spell, play another 4-mana spell, and just kind of go from there. This is going to be over. There's not much we can do about this. The opponent gets to 6 mana, then we're definitely in trouble, because we are way far behind. I mean, if we hit a green source off the top, we might be okay because there's a Dawn, I hope, for the opponent. But we do need a green source. Another Resplendent Angel. Alright, no green source. Not getting there. So, yeah. Okay. Vraska's Contempt for sure. Vivian Reed for sure. I think against this deck I want the other copy of Find. And then we're going to take out Seeker Squire. And the reason I'm taking Seeker Squire out, not Merfolk Branchwalker, is because Branchwalker can get up through a 3 power where Seeker Squire cannot. If you were against a red deck, you would take out the Branchwalker because Branchwalker dies to Goblin Chain Whirler if it doesn't hit, whereas the Seeker Squire does not. So just depending on which matchup is going to depend on which one you want to take out. I think we take out the District Guide as the last card here. I kind of want to bring in Eldest Reborn, but this opponent's actually fairly fast, and I don't know that if we're going to be able to keep up with that. Maybe we take out a Zoni and 1 Vraska for the 2 Eldest Reborns. So we're technically coming off the top end. Yeah, let's run like that. Yes, this is a rematch. We just got beat by I keep wanting to say Golgari, a Boros Angels deck. I have to call it Angels because that's what it is. It's Angels. We're gonna keep this. We're just gonna you know, Merfolk Branchwalker, Jade Light Ranger all the day. All right. All right. Again, Branchwalker, Jade Light, Branchwalker, Jade Light. That's the plan. Find. I'm going to leave that on top. I have my 3rd land, so I can afford to draw 1 more card. And then we're just going to dump stuff. Okay, he is not paying for it. So he's going to gain a life, we're going to lose a life, but then we're going to swing for 3 more. Alright, Jade Light, give me some land. Preferably one that produces black mana. It's almost a land. We're going to go to the graveyard. We're going to go to the graveyard. Okay. How far can we dig looking for land? You have Resplendent Angel follow-up. I doubt it's Benelish Marshall, considering, yeah. Come on, land. Wild Growth? A little late, buddy. A little bit late. I'm going to put that in the graveyard as well. And since either of these will trade with Resplendent Angel, I am going to swing. Does he have the Aurelia? He does have Aurelia. Thankfully, Aurelia doesn't give white creatures lifelink. If Aurelia gave white creatures lifelink, that would be Absolutely broken. Okay, well, we hit Vraska. I kind of just want to cast Find and cast Llanowar Elf here. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll get a Llanowar Elf down. Yeah, I'm gonna swing. I mean, yeah, he gets to eat like a Merfolk Branchwalker or the small Jade Light, but he still takes 7, which puts him back at 8. He gains 3, goes back to 11. We're gonna gain a little bit of life next turn. Never mind, he gains 4 and goes back to 12. Here we go. So we do not have a flyer this turn. I think I have to gain life. Otherwise, aren't we just dead anyway? We're dead anyway, aren't we? Yep. Just dead on board. Yep, dead on board. Just no answer to the flyers. Just couldn't kill him. And again, Moment of Craving doesn't do anything for those. So the opponent's version of the deck had a lot more speed to it than a lot of the Angels versions normally do. I think that really helped the opponent out a lot there. I promised you guys one more game, so we are going to get into one more. Lost all my play points with Golgari. Man. Harpooner's nice, but I don't think that's exactly what you want. Cast down would also be pretty good. Scurry. Or Skulky. Actually, before we jump into this game, let's jump over here and look at another version of the deck that I was looking at. Just kind of tuning around with a little bit, and maybe I'll play that for you guys. It's the same thing on the front end of the deck. Only difference is it's got one less Vraska Relic Seeker, and it's got 2 mainboard Carnage Tyrants. In the sideboard, it's got it doesn't have the Argyle's Bloodfast, as a lot of people are wanting to come off of that. And we've got an additional Carnage Tyrant there, kind of for the Golgari Mirror. So I'm going to play this version for you guys, and then we'll be playing what everyone else is calling like the new Tier 1 version of the deck, like the more solidified. So, man, I don't even know. I don't even know what you're saying there, Mr. Bennett. But thank you. Some days it actually touches the nose. So, alright, we're going to try it with the Carnage Tyrants. Cannot get Lyra? Yes, it can. Why couldn't it? You only need 2 creatures in the graveyard for it to get Lyra. They're going to gain 5 life, but it'll get Lyra. First Strike has no effect in a fight. First Strike only deals damage during First Strike phase of combat. So I don't get why you mean that the Harpooner couldn't get Lyra. Salvador Dal? I have no clue who that is. Oh no, not like this deck. Not like this. Alright, we'll keep. Wildgrowth's pretty good. I'll keep that on top. We're not paying the life. What just happened? The opponent what? Discarded a land? I'm not the only one that makes punts, ladies and gentlemen. The opponent, like, had 7 cards in hand and went to end step, clicked a land, and he threw it in the graveyard. Okay. I'm going to try to take advantage of this. Seeker Squire? Like, can we just go on a beatdown? I think I still want to put in the graveyard. Ooh, we got a land. Sweet. Oh, another Memorial to Unity. I'm gonna pay the life. Let's just take advantage of our poor opponent here. Capitalize on mistakes when you can, guys. They won't happen often. There's a Druid of the Cow. Alright, so now we're like Branchwalker. I'm going to play the Branchwalkers out first because they have a higher potential to be more devastating. So we can also play land, Branchwalker. We get another land. I'm actually willing to lose this green source here. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Just this whole first game's botched. Like, let's just get it over with. Like a band-aid. Let's just rip it off quick. Didn't get to see enough of the opponent's deck. I know that he's got a lot of elves. I know he's got some, some Druids of the Cow. He's got some Land of War elves, things of that nature. Moment of Craving probably going to be pretty good here. I'll take out the Seeker Squires for the 3 Moment of Cravings and a Zoni Thousand-Eyed for the other Wildgrowth Walker, and see if we can just kind of grow into, grow into something. Dolly? I've got to look up this like Dolly that you're talking about. Dolly paintings? Salvador Dali? Oh wow. Man, his almost touches eyebrows. Wow. Okay. Alright. Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali, ladies and gentlemen. Now that is a stash. That's a stash right there. I could probably do that. Alright. That's pretty cool. We don't have any green sources, so we can't get down this Land of War Elf. This is definitely not a fast game plan for us. I'm going to mulligan this. This looks much better. I'll keep. I think we can deal without this land right now. So I'm going to put it on the bottom. He's got a Shaper Sanctuary. We'll try not to target anything and just go for the beatdowns. I am going to pay some life here. Get my Land of War Elf out. so that we can turn to a Jade Light Ranger and just kind of go from there. Well, you're in luck, Albatross, because it looks like that most of the list have backed down to just 2 copies. Seems like more than 2 copies is just you're running into the risk of ramping your opponent a little too much, and that just causes games to get away from you. When your opponent is actually, you know, 2 and 3 cards or 2 and 3 turns ahead of you, it's just not good. How bad do we want to hit 6 mana? Pretty bad, right? Yeah, I want to hit 6 mana pretty badly. Pretty badly. There's a Morrowind the Nurturer, which means this is some version of Elf Ball. So we'll just play the Woodland Cemetery and play... play the Golgari Queen. And I'm just going to uptick. I'm not actually going to sacrifice anything. I'm not drawing a card. I just want to uptick. So I'm just going to say no. And I'm not even going to swing. I thought Saffron Olive played Elf Ball. He played like a green-white Elf Ball. I know he played that deck. Seth, he plays a lot of crazy decks. I mean, like against the odds, things like that. Cool decks. Vanquisher's Banner. There you go. There you go, opponent. So, if he starts hitting elves... well, I don't necessarily want him to draw a ton of cards. If we go... yeah, we gotta pay 2 life for this. So that we can Wild Growth Walker. And Jade Light. Explore... I don't actually think looking for. We'll gain a ton of life here. Since we have a couple blockers, we can kind of get in like this. And then if we get to 6 mana, like I kind of want him to just dump everything right here. Although we don't want him to get too big, right? Just kind of big. Beast Whisperer. Okay. Then we have to do it this turn. Yeah, we'll do this turn. I mean, he's gonna have a good chance at refilling his refilling everything here, because he's drawing some cards because of Beast Whisperer and Morrowind. Morrowind's going to be 4 mana. He can tap this, produce 4 more mana, make Morrowind absolutely huge yet again. I mean, he's still got mana. He can keep going. This is Elf Ball. This is how this deck works. Alright, so he plays another... just triggered abilities. He plays another Pelt Collector, drawing some cards. And this is what Elf Ball does. Just really explosive. Did I? Did I forget to uptick her? I did, didn't I? I always forget about that. Like, I am horrible about forgetting her uptick because I don't want to sacrifice anything, and I just always forget it. Okay, well, there's a Druid of the Cowl. Unfortunately, Morrowind's going to be just devastating here. I mean, I'm going to kill her with Vraska, but still. He's going to draw cards for that, too. I mean, the opponent's back to 5 cards in hand now, so, I mean, he really gets to refill his hand here. Or rebuild immediately after this swing. So we're going to cast Finale. I'm going to choose Wild Growth Walker. He's going to draw even more cards because I'm going to destroy Morrowind. We get to punch him for one? Yeah, unfortunately the Elf Ball probably just gets to run away with us here. Yeah, Beast Whisper's really sweet. I really like that card. And this deck runs Vanquisher's Banner better than most. Yes. Clarion, not so much as you would think. The Elves can actually outgrow Clarion. Yeah, he's got a full grip. And he's not going to be losing cards because everything he casts is going to be an Elf. So, like, he's going to stay at 7 cards. No, we're not going to pay. I'll get rid of it, though. Wild Growth Walker. Okay. Yeah, she would have been at 7, which would have been very relevant. Being at 7 would have definitely been relevant. Because it would have been able to survive a Still Leaf Champion hit. Just made a Boros deck, about to load it on Reddit. Rush, do you just see the opponent's decks and go, I'll build that? Another Beast Whisperer. There's nothing we can do about this. Warning, you don't plan on blocking and we will probably get 2 for 1. So you're building a tilt deck. You want to see me go on tilt. You want your opponent's 1 card to deal with 2 of our cards all the time. Okay. Well, if people upvote it, we'll play it. You're already nagging Sirius to play it. You know, I haven't seen much of Sirius stuff lately. I like Sirius. I just haven't seen much of his stuff. The opponent's at 9 cards. He just played all of this, and he's still at 9 cards. I could save Vraska? I don't really see a point in it. I mean, we're dead. This doesn't get better from here. Just so you guys know, there's nothing that makes this better. Nothing. Ritual of Soot, that does not make this better. Board wipe would not make this better. Like any board wipe, you do not make this better. Like, this is kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, they're already winning. Like, What does it matter that he draws more cards? Draw 3 more, opponent. And this is a May ability. He may draw cards. I'm going to try to moment craving this before the trigger goes. Just, what we're going to do, mill him? Is that an option? These are not May abilities. I mean, 26 cards in his library. Yeah. Albatross, I'm with you, man. I just want to see if we can live long enough to mill him. I just don't think that we do. Each creature that he casts right now forces him to draw 2 cards, so he needs to cast 12 creatures and should have bolted the dork, so then he has a 3/3 with trample. I don't know. I don't know if that's right. I mean, which dork do we bolt? This dork or this dork? Like, the one that was boltable, right? I don't think mana matters here. Clan collar. Okay. And he attacks opponent. Not this turn. Nope, but he's got another spell he wants to cast. There we go. Line of Worlds. 16 cards left in his library. Do you think they run Reliquary Tower in there? I don't know. He's got 17 cards in his hand right now. Do you think you need Reliquary Tower if you're doing this? Like, that's my question every time someone says something about Reliquary Tower. It's like, do you really need it? Can't you just pick, like, the best 7? And if you can't win with the best 7 out of 17 cards, what the hell is your deck made out of? You know, like, I don't know. Like, that's just the way I see it, though. I mean, I know you guys are going to want to see me play this Elf Ball deck at some point, huh? See if we can just make it go off. I mean, the opponent's definitely going off here. There's another Clan Caller. $11 cards left in his library. Robert, thank you so much. You're getting elf balled again, aren't you? I am. It happens. This is apparently something that just happens. He's got 12 mana by tapping Morrowind here. Right? I just want to point that out. Morrowind taps for 12. Alright, so let's set up some blocks here. Let's do this. We block here. We block here. We block. We block like... Oh, we can't block that one. So that's just naturally 10 points of damage. So we take 6, 12... Yeah, that's 22 damage. Sure. That'll work. Yeah, we're not quite gonna deck them. You're right. Because even if we get to target something, then that's... Yeah. Oh, snap! It's not enough. It's nowhere near enough. Ooh, a Doom Whisperer. Let's just throw it in the graveyard. Yeah. Wow. I hope the opponent just turns sideways. I'm not even going to do the math. I'm just going to let him hit me, and we're going to see how far in the negative we go. Yeah, dude. Just swing with everything. You got this. You got this, opponent. Not even blocking. Negative 44. Gee. That's elves, ladies and gentlemen. That's elves. Standard elves. Beast greater than Doom. Yeah, I'd say so. Well, we definitely want another fine finale. We have to be able to just bury them. We need Vivian Reed because Vivian Reed destroys the Vanquisher's banner. It's one of the few ways that we actually have to destroy Vanquisher's banner. So we really need the Vivian Reed. They don't have enough. Like, I know Vanquisher's banner is a problem, but I don't have enough that I really want the rest. Izoni, maybe. Maybe we want Izoni. Maybe we don't want Carnage Tyrant. We really need to just 1-for-1 them and kind of just go from there. I don't see. The thing is he's only got like Shaper Sanctuary and he's only got like the Shaper Sanctuary and the banner. Like maybe one or two other spells, period, that are not draw spells or that are not elves. So I just don't think that I want Duress. I do want some kill spells though. So I just don't know what to take out. Maybe I just leave what we have and cut the district guide and maybe one wild growth. Maybe I don't run the wild growth walker. We'll just go like that. I don't know. No. Azani may go wide, but it doesn't go wide as them. I mean, Azani goes as wide as they have killed things, and they haven't killed things, and Azani doesn't do much at all. We've got like no early game interaction, so I mean this is a keepable hand. Like I think you're supposed to keep this hand, but there's no early interaction, which is going to be really bad. I'm going to keep, but if he has a good hand at all, then we just lose to it. Yeah, Azoni, I like Azoni, but I think you're going to see Azoni, like, you're not going to see as much Azoni in the new decks. No, this is not a Debs deck. This is the deck that won the PTQ, the Magic Online PTQ. The only difference in this deck and that deck is I've added 2 Carnage Tyrants to the main board. Just because that's something everyone else was doing. If you go back and watch the first games we played, then you'll see the actual PTQ game. This was a 4th game because we ran into Boros so many times. I said I would play another game. And now we're getting stomped by an Elves deck. Now, do remember, guys, I said from the beginning the only way to really beat these Golgari decks is to be much faster, much stronger than they are as far as, you know, just pure speed. And that's how you're going to beat the Golgari decks. And, like, that's kind of why Wild Growth Walker showed up in these decks. Graveyard. Graveyard. That's kind of why Wild Growth Walker showed up in these decks, is because you you can't beat the really fast decks. In the really fast decks, you need to gain some additional life and then try to beat them from there. Any deck that can maintain card advantage, you can't really beat them. I mean, your deck's not trying to do anything unfair. You're not trying to do anything just ridiculous. You're just trying to play a nice, fair game of Magic, and you know, you're going to be as fair about it as possible. You're just going to play good spells in every slot, and hopefully, you know, just generate a little raw advantage. I'm going to Jade Light here because I don't want to miss this land drop. I really don't. We're gonna keep trying to go wide. we have to get to the fine finale before he gets like a Beast Whisperer or something down. So that's my prayer here, is to get to finale before Beast Whisperer. This looks like a Beast Whisperer. One more. Show me the Beast Whisperer. It's only 4-drop in the deck, so. Deck. Like, this is a good version of Elves. I like it. I'm going to get rid of the Shaper's Sanctuary here. And I'm okay with losing Vraska, because I can always just Fine Broker back into Vraska. We put the opponent at 8. So we are swinging for lethal next turn, so he does need to like actually block some stuff next turn. So alright, so there's a Morrowind. He did get to draw an additional card there. Did he hit a land?
You fight well in the old style, but you've caused me enough trouble. Now you face.
I think he would. I would attack with just Beast Whisperer if I was him at Golgari, Golgari Queen. It's the one card you don't want to block with. Sure. So we'll go Atlanta War Elves. Swing for lethal. Blocks with Atlanta War Elf. I'm going to kill the Beast Whisperer. I don't want him to get a priority and then start like casting and drawing cards. Alright. This is where we're at. Druid of the Cow. This makes Morrowind grow. Druid of the Cow. This also makes Morrowind grow. Oh, give me a land off the top. Land off the top, just one time. It's close. I think Morrowind gets away from us here, though. We don't have enough black sources to be able to cast Mind Broker. Oh wow, Marwin's going to do the blocking. Yeah, I'll block the Pelt Collector. Or I'll kill the Pelt Collector. And he can have his manatraders. Okay. Now we need to Carnage Tyrant down. Like, so killing Beast Whisperer and stopping the card draw engine is how you beat this deck. Being able to kill Marwin's probably like tertiary on the kill list, but still very important. Getting in there. No blocks from me, buddy. I'm just going to go ahead and play the Carnage Tyrant. Let's buy us a little time. And next turn, we should be able to win the game. Sweep the leg. That's what we did. We're about to sweep the leg. Like, we're about to play dirty. Use your inside voice, Robert. Find your Doom Whisperer. Next turn, sweep. Gotcha. Right, because we get to not only sweep, but we get to put 2+1 counters on this, so it will be a 9/8 -4, so it'll be a 5/4, and 5/4 is lethal. Found the Doom Whisperer, but we don't have enough black mana to cast it. That was brutal. That was brutal. Dolphin Nerd, what's up? How are you doing? You remember watching me at 100 subscribers? Less than that? That wasn't long. Took me about a month to go from like 0 to 100, and then within a couple months after that, we were at 1,000, and then nice slow steady growth since then. So thanks this whole time, Dolphin. Thanks for being a subscriber, man, or ma'am, dude, lady. I don't know. Whatever, Dolphin Nerd. Thank you for being you. All right. Wow. Real quick, what madness? Nerd? Yeah, we just call him Nerd, right? What's up, nerds? Then that sounds like Jeff Hoagland, right? Porpoise. Man, dude, lady. It's possible. Porpoise Nerd. Very smart porpoise. I don't know. Enough playing with Dolphin Nerd's name. Yes, it's wonderful. The growth we've had it's definitely been stimulated by being part of Dev's community. A lot of people wanted to see that gameplay, and Dev's community's helped out quite a bit. You'll even notice Nightbot throwing up. Check out Dev's channel. I try to give back to Dev. I would like to think that, I helped him maybe a couple subs there in that last push for 100K. I doubt that we helped very much. We're the smaller channel, and normally you don't want the smaller channel trying to help the bigger channel. You want the bigger channels to help the small channels, and We've gotten some flack from some people and stuff like that for that, but all in all, the growth has been absolutely wonderful, and I thank each and every one of you for that. Definitely hit that like button if you like tonight's gameplay. We're going to be playing a different version of Golgari or Sultai mid-range tomorrow night. I do believe Dev might be coming out with something Abzan. He may go with something else, but looking at the poll results on his Patreon, it looks like we might be looking at an Abzan deck coming up. And if so, I'm going to let that stand as the Abzan Knights deck that I was going to play at the end of the week. So, yeah, that's... we probably got some, a Dev's deck coming up that's going to fit right into the deck. I don't know, James Carr. I don't actually think Kroll Harpooner is as good of a card as you think it is. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it actually fits. Maybe a sideboard card or something like that against some of these flying decks, but yeah. What do you mean, what did you do? I didn't do nothing, Rush. I didn't say nothing about you. There's nothing. You didn't do anything. You paused it. That's what it is. You paused it. Click the little play button in the center. Wait, you can't hear me. Who am I talking to? If I wasn't supposed to have so many plugs, the electrician shouldn't have put so many outlets in the room. Right? There we go. Too many Reddit deck plugs. That's because that's the community. That's what the community wants. The community wants to see Devs decks. They want to see top tier decks. They want to see some brews from me, and then they want to see their brews. Like, that is what the channel is kind of developed into. And apparently you guys all want to see meta coverage. So those are like the top 5 things that we do here at Sideboard MTG. We play Devs decks. We play, subscriber brews. Which, by the way, subscriber brews help support the channel. Like, that's huge. So you don't like them, then skip that video or watch it on 2x speed or something. But not every video is going to be a 100% hit to all people watching. So that it is what it is. But yeah, we got subscriber brews, we got Devs decks, we got my brews, we got meta coverage, and then we got top tier decks. So you guys also, they like you, dude. They really like you. Anyway, Lamp is a hater. Always throwing shade, man. Always. Lamp is constantly throwing shade. Anyway, that's all we've got for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the deck. We will be playing either Sultai or the other version of Golgari. I want to play Golgari Menagerie, which is a completely different deck altogether. So, haha, you're so funny. Yes. I want to play the Golgari Menagerie deck, but I also want to play the Sultai Reanimator deck, where you're bringing things back from the graveyard. That deck seemed really, really fun. Seemed like we could have a blast. Do I think it's a top tier deck? Probably not, but seems like it's going to be a lot of fun anyway. So, yeah. Guys, gals, everyone else, we'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. Bye. Stand down. Thank you for subscribing.